Okay, so as previously we discussed about the second line of defense system that include basically the cells, protective protein, inflammatory response, and temporary response. In that we have studied only cells. So today I will move further on toward the protective protein, inflammatory response, and temporary response. So let's do this. Over here I am going to explain about that. Okay, so here first we number third second one was protective protein. Protective protein. So let's discuss this. First of all, this protective protein is divided into two parts. Number one is complement protein or complement system. Complement protein or system. And number two is interferons. Okay, so let's discuss first complement protein. So here complement protein is made in the liver. Liver made 20 to 30% protein. For example, here we have liver. Okay, here we have liver, and in liver we have 20 to 30 proteins, and outside liver we have inflected cell. Okay, inflected protein, or you can say inflected cell. Inflected cell. So here we have infected protein. Okay, so now from the liver these proteins will come out and make the pores on the surface of infected protein like this, and these surface, these pores, the water will move inside the infected cell. H2O will move inside the infected cell, so here it will increase the amount of water and then it burst. Okay, so now let's move towards the interferons. So first of all, interferons is the viral reflected interferon. Why it is named as the interferons? Because here is the viral replication interferons. Like viral replication interferons do not allow the viral proteins to make the further children's or whatever make further replication. So here interference word is used. So interferons, this is divided into three. First we have alpha, then beta, then gamma. So these are the interferons which protect. For suppose we have one infected cell. Infected cell. Okay, so outside the infected cell we have the normal cells. These are normal cells. So here we have the infected cells. Okay, these are the infected cells. So what alpha and beta interferons will do, they will make the membrane around the infected cells so that the other normal cells can protect from this cell or cannot be damaged. Okay, so they will make this type of layer. This layer is made by alpha and beta interferons. So now what is the work of gamma interferons? Basically gamma interferons will help in the cancer cell. Gamma help in cancer cell. Like do not allow cancer cell to break more and cannot means that cells cannot these gamma cells protect the cancer cells. So now this was the protective protein. So let me give you somehow overview. So we have two type of protective protein. complement protein or system or interferons. So our liver made 20 to 30 proteins. Like in liver we have 20 to 30 proteins. So these will come out and make the pores on the infected protein or cell. So in fact from these pores the water will move inside and the amount of water will increase in the infected cell or protein, so that cell will burst. So now let's move towards the interferons. There is the viral replication interferons, which is divided into three parts, that are alpha, beta, and gamma. So these are the interferons which protect the remaining cells. Like we have the infected cells here. So and the outside infected we have the normal cells. So what alpha and beta will here, what alpha and beta will do here, they will make the thin layer around the infected cell so that normal cell can be protected. And gamma will help in the cancer cell. Like cancer, gamma will help mm, to protect the remaining cells from that cancer cell. So now let's move towards the third part, that was inflammatory response. That was inflammatory response. Okay, so what happened here? Like first of all we have the, this means this is the blood. Okay, what is this is the blood. And here we have tissues. These are tissues. For suppose means a little bit accident or road accident can damage your tissue, like one cell. Okay, so one cell, yeah, so that cell is will be known as the injured cell then, like road accident. Okay, so this will be known as injured cells. Now what injured cell will release somehow protein, release some chemical. It will release chemical, and these chemicals are of two types. Like this is the histamine and prosta prostaglandine prostaglandine or histamine. This will be the two type of chemicals. So after chemicals means they will release, and it will means our then blood vessels will dilate, like it will be dilate, so blood can flow more fastly when the injured cell will be releasing this histamine and prostaglandin. So this blood will be dilate, and the flow of blood will be increased. So here from this one side the body will getting and warm and swelling, and it includes reddish part. You look like when you got somehow little bit injured, or so that part will swell up reddish, and from that part you get pain too. Okay, so these are the symptoms which happened by releasing this histamine, prostaglandin. So now here we have the blood more, like here this is a means this one dilate one. So blood is moving fast and fast, and blood increase. Okay, so in the downper side there we have the some capillaries. Like here we have the capillaries. So these capillaries, the wall of these capillaries increase. What will increase? Permeability. They will need permeability. So in this we have three things, that how why this will increase. To first, to remove to remove injured cell. Number second, repairing. Like you have see that whenever you are getting little bit accident or somehow little bit pain in your hand, so after that it repairs. Likewise you are getting the road accident, it pains you, it warms, it swells red. So after that, after the time to time, it repair that. Number third is prevent from inflammation. Okay, got it. So this was our inflammatory response. Suddenly, we have the blood, and here we have some tissues. So if we got the road accident, so our cell will damage. So that cell is known as injured cell. So that injured cell will release some chemicals, so that are known as histamine and prostaglandin. Okay, so here we have the dilate blood vessels which are made. Here the flow of blood will increase, that will cause the warm, from that place it will be warm, swelling, reddish and pain. So you all are familiar with this. So in here we have the capillaries. So wall of capillaries will increase the permeability. Okay, why? Because to remove the injured cell, to remove this injured cells, or repairing will be start if you got the road accident. So these things will be happen after time to time, this will repair, then it prevent from the inflammation. So got it. Now let's move toward the third one, that is what we have, temperature response. No, sorry, fourth one, temperature response. Okay, so now temperature response. As first we have discussed about the macrophages. Okay, we have discussed macrophages. Macrophages will, when they eat the bacteria, then they release the interleukin 1. Is a chemical interleukin 1. It will release the chemical. So now this interleukin 1 will move through the blood, through move through blood to the hypothalamus, which is present in our brain. Sorry, hypothalamus. Okay, which is present in our brain. So now what happens? Okay, so after going in the hypothalamus, it will increase the, means as we have the temperature here 80 98.6 Fahrenheit. Okay, Fahrenheit. So this after going, this chemical will be going in the hypothalamus and increase the temperature, increase the temperature up to 100. Okay, 100 Fahrenheit. 100 Fahrenheit increase, so body temperature will also be increased. So if body temperature will be increased, so here we have the liver. Okay, leave the picture. So in our blood we have the iron, which is most important, iron. So if we will increase the blood temperature, so iron will move into the liver and will store in the liver. Okay, so now in the blood there is the deficiency of iron, which so the bacteria will not grow. So this is a positive, except like if the iron is moving into the liver, so here it will be deficiency of iron, which from which bacteria will not grow. Okay, so and after that, so it has one of the negative impact too, like the due to high temperature. Due to high temperature, bacteria will release one type of chemical known as endotoxin. Bacteria release endotoxin. Okay, so now this endotoxin will move into the hypothalamus and then increase the temperature up to 100, like 100 to 1. This may go towards the fever. So if we have the high fever, so in the response that we will eat the tablet which is antipyretic. Antipyretic will decrease our fever, and this is also known as pyth- pyrogen. Okay, so let me give you an overview. Like here we have the macrophage which we discussed as in the previous lecture. Macrophage release one type of chemical which is known as interleukin I, and this will be going into the hypothalamus brain through the blood, and it will increase the temperature. As we will having the temperature 98.6, it will increase up to 100, then increase up to 100. So then in the blood we have the iron. So due to increase of blood, iron will move into the liver and store in the liver. So if we have the positive step, like there will be deficiency of iron, so bacteria will not grow. This is the positive. And now negative accept is like if we high temperature, so bacteria will release one type of chemical that is known as endotoxin or known as pyrogen. Okay, so this will again move into the hypothalamus and then increase the temperature up to 100, like 101. So it may cause the fever. So the tablet which is antipyretic will decrease a fever. Okay, so that was the three. First one was the protective protein, then interferon, then fourth one was the temperature response. Got it? Hope you enjoyed.